I already recorded this whole video, didn't like the angle, so I'm recording it again. This whole YouTube channel is gonna be one mess after another, like, kind of like my life. So clearly by the title that you read when you clicked on this video, I started off 2017 on a beautiful foot. Like, I am killing it in 2017 already. Like, so to start this story off, I was sick all weekend. So Saturday was like the worst of it, or it was getting to the point where it was the worst of it. Um, so it was mostly Sunday that was the worst of it, like Sunday morning until like early evening. So Saturday night, I spent the night with my family. We played like games, we watched movies, we just kind of hung out as a family. It's kind of what we do on New Year's Eve. We don't usually go out and like hang out with other people. It's usually just left to just the four of us. I had been texting my friend the entire night. We planned to hang out the next morning because she would be leaving for school around noonish. On the 1st of January, and so I planned to meet her at around 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I thought my sick self couldn't get up that early in the morning, but I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And so we planned to meet at 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't plan to hang out with her for that long because, first off, she would be going back to school soon, and I was gonna spend the rest of the day, like, just kind of chilling out, maybe making a video about New Year's resolutions, lol, or just hanging out with my family and just resting and feeling better because I had work the next day. I was supposed to work 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, and I have a 2-hour commute to get to work. So to get to work for 7, I would have had to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And the whole 2-hour commute thing is like a other issue. I was supposed to get transferred for the winter break, but that's a crazy story that I can tell if you want, so let me know if you want to hear the story of my crazy transfer and this crazy manager who is incompetent and can't do her job. But yeah, I'll be willing to tell that story if you want to hear that story. So I was planning to get to bed early Sunday night so that I can be up early the next morning to get to work. So that was kind of like Sunday in a nutshell for me on Saturday night, like what I had planned to do for the first day of 2017. So midnight rolls around, we say our Happy New Year's, and then we say our goodnights. Everyone goes to bed. I stay up for like a little bit longer watching some videos because I wasn't really feeling very well. Obviously, I was completely sick, and I knew I wouldn't be able to fall asleep if I laid in bed right away. And I was right. I laid in bed around 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't actually fall asleep until like 3:30 because my nose was like completely clogged and I was starting to feel nauseous. So 3:30 comes around and I finally fall asleep. I wake up a couple times during the middle of the night because I wasn't feeling well and just, you know, needing to blow my nose. That's what a head cold does too. So for some reason, my sick brain thought it would be okay to set my alarm for 8:30 in the morning when I had to go see my friend at 9. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I'll set my alarm for 8:30 and then take a shower and get dressed and get ready and drive there for 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Clearly, I wasn't in a perfect mental state to be making decisions or doing anything, honestly. So, my alarm goes off at 8:30. I wake up. I'm feeling awful. I had kind of already been awake. I was like kind of drifting in and out of sleep all night. So I text my friend and I'm like, hey, I am not gonna be able to make it. I'm sorry. I'm nauseous. I'm not feeling well. And she's like completely understanding. She's like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Like, we'll hang out later, in the year when like we're both home from school or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's nice of her. Like, relieved. I'll just go back to sleep. Maybe wake up later in the day and like just chill. So I roll over to go back to sleep and I get a phone call. And I grab my phone and it's my work calling me. And I'm like, why are you calling me at 8:30 in the morning? when you know I have a 2-hour commute? Like, I thought they were calling me to see if I can take somebody's shift because somebody must have been a no-show. LOL. Kind of ironic. But, so I just roll over and I'm like, you know what, whatever, like, I will call them back later today and be like, hey, sorry, I'm feeling really sick, like, I couldn't come in. So I start to kind of drift back to sleep, and then I get a text. And I'm like, maybe it's my friend saying something else about today. So I look at the text, and it's my manager, and she's going, hey, it's your manager. Where are you? You were supposed to be here at 8. By now, it's 8:45. And I still have a 2-hour commute. So my mind goes like a million miles a minute. I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, I was supposed to be in today? Like, what is she talking about? So I check my schedule. And there it is, right in front of me. 8 o'clock, Sunday morning. I was supposed to be in at work. I think I was looking at the wrong schedule, and because my other schedule from last week said I was supposed to be in at 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, so I think I might have been looking at that schedule, which is, like, not much of an excuse. I understand I made a terrible mistake, but I was still, like, freaking out, like, literally freaking out. So I called my store. I'm like, hey, oh my god, I am so sorry. I thought I was working tomorrow. And the manager, she's like a very strict manager. She's not like the store manager. She's kind of like the assistant manager. And she's like very intimidating, very strict. And she's like, well, what time can you be here for? And I was like, you know, I live 2 hours away. I won't be able to be there until 11. So she says, I still need you to come for 11. So be here. And then she hangs up. I'm like freaking out at this point. I'm like, I'm going to be fired on the first day of 2017. Like, this is a great start to the new year. Like, this is a premonition for the rest of the year for me. Like, this is just so great. I was literally freaking out. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to pay my bills. I'm gonna get my car taken away from me. Like, I was just a mess. So I hang up the phone, I put the phone down, I don't even get up before I am bawling my eyes out, and I'm just like crying, and like I'm already sick, so I'm like sniffling like crazy, and I'm trying to keep myself from getting sick because I was still feeling nauseous, so like crying was making me feel even more nauseous, and I was just a mess, and I had to be to work for 11 o'clock. So I go downstairs, and my mom's already up because she's getting ready for church. I just walk into the room, and I'm bawling my eyes out, and my mom's like, what happened? Like, she thought I was going to meet my friend. She was like, what's happening? Like, did she die? Like, did somebody die? Like, my mom was, like, ready to freak out. And I told her what happened, and she was like, how could this have happened? And then my mom started to like piece things together because I had told her how nauseous I was feeling, how sick I was feeling, what time I went to sleep, and how I didn't get enough sleep. And so she was like, okay, I'll drive you, I'll drop you off. She had work at 1, so she was like, I'll drop you off, I'll come back, and then my dad can come and pick me up. And I was like, no, you can't do that because you have work, I'll drive myself. And so she decided to make the plan that she was going to ask my dad to see if he could drive me. So we go upstairs, she wakes my dad up, I go to get dressed, I'm still bawling my eyes out, but like at this point I'm like, I need to stop crying or else I'm literally going to make myself sick. So I get dressed, get ready, can't even put my contacts in, like as if this day wasn't bad enough already, like my contacts weren't going into my face. I had to be gross and wear glasses for the day. I had planned to take a shower, so, like, my hair was disgusting, so I had to wear a hat, like, it was just, I was a mess, like, a literal mess. So my mom's like, okay, your dad's gonna drive you. Great, I don't have to drive the 2 hours, like, I can sleep in the car. Little side note, I did not sleep in the car at all. Should have slept, didn't sleep, but, anyways, so I go downstairs. I'm, like, completely ready because I know, like, I did not have a lot of time to get to work. I had 2 hours, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I'm downstairs, ready, and my dad is taking his time. And I get it, like, I woke him up early in the morning to take me into work when he had, like, other plans for the day, and, like, this is gonna take away his entire day. But I was like, we need to get going. I told them I would be there for 11. I need to be there for 11. I do not want to get fired today. I was already terrified that I was like gonna get fired, so like I didn't want to give them even more reason to fire me. So I was like, I need to be there. So by the time my dad is ready, it's like 9:30, and as if I wasn't freaking out enough already, I was like literally freaking out so bad. We were like in the car, and I was like, you better be speeding, like let's go, like we better pray we don't hit traffic. But we were going to Boston, so I was like terrified we were gonna hit traffic, and just I was a mess. Like literally the ride was perfect. We didn't hit traffic. My dad didn't even have to speed, and I got there with like 5 minutes to spare. Not a lot of time, but still, I got there on time. So I thank my dad profusely. Like I've literally been thanking him since yesterday to today because of how grateful I am that he drove me for this. And I walk into the store, and I literally like keep my head down. I noticed that 2 of the managers are there. It's not just the one that had called me. I like keep my head down. I'm like, hi, like I'm so sorry. And the manager goes, you're in, you came, that's all that matters. Literally, she said that, and I was just like filled with relief. I was like, I'm not gonna get fired today. I might not have started off on the right foot, but like I can work towards bettering it. And I was just so relieved. So I wish them Happy New Year. I go into the back, get my stuff ready, come back out, and there's like racks upon racks of go backs. And go backs are like the clothes that when you go into the fitting room, you hang up your clothes on like the racks. There was tons and tons of go backs, like the most go backs I've ever seen, and I got them done. Like I was so scared to do anything wrong that day that I like got those go backs done. I was like rushing and everything, and like the managers were like, you can slow down, you don't need to be going that fast, like it's okay, you're here, take a deep breath. I think they could tell that I had been crying for most of the morning. But yeah, so even one of my managers was like, are you sick? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sick. And she asked me what I had done the night before. I think they thought that I had a hangover, and that's why I forgot about work. And like I was out partying the night before. But I was literally like, I spent the night with my family, like playing games and stuff and just celebrating with my family. And they were like, oh, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, so you're like actually sick? And I was like, yeah, I'm actually sick, like seriously sick right now. They were like, oh, I'm like actually really sorry, like that sucks. I'm like, I know, but I'm here, I'm working, it's fine. So I end up working until like 3, and then the drive home is kind of long because we kind of hit a couple like spots of traffic, but other than that, it wasn't that bad. And I get home around 6 o'clock. I take pills, like nighttime pills, to like get rid of my sickness, and I sleep until like 11 o'clock this morning. Like I literally slept for like 19 hours. I don't know if that's the math, but like you can correct me if I'm wrong. But like I sleep for an amazing amount of time. I was just so exhausted. But yeah, so that was my January 1st of 2017. It just throughout the whole day, I was thinking like, wow, I can't believe this is my first day of the new year. Like I'm starting off the new year on such a bad note, like such a bad foot. Just, I really hope this is an omen for the rest of my year and things. But then I reminded myself that, you know, the first day of the new year is not the only day that you can start over. You can start over like whenever you want. You're not confined to this one day. If you decide to start over like the next day, you can start over. You are not held back by this January 1st and this thought that this is the day to start over. You can start over like whenever you want. So my start over date is January 2nd, and I have some New Year's resolutions in mind. Maybe I can make another video about New Year's resolutions. I don't know. That's kind of basic. But yeah, so leave a comment if you want a video on the New Year's resolutions or the craziness that is this transfer that isn't happening. And subscribe to my videos. and I'll see you in whatever video that I make next. Bye.